Hey everybody, and welcome this week to Jumping Flash 2 Big Trouble in Little Moo. This is an action platformer for the PlayStation 1. If you happen to be seeing this video first, I already played the original Jumping Flash for my channel, and I'm getting ready to get started on this one now. Now we do have some cutscenes here at the beginning that explain the story.
Hello! Yeah, are you the person who is in charge of the Universal City Hall? Good. This is the mad scientist Baron Aloha talking to you. Listen, Domkov, I have question for simple favor.
In the backwater reaches of the galaxy lies a tiny planet known as Little Moo that is used by Baron Aloha as his secret hideout. The Baron returned to his home away from home to rejuvenate from a recent beating he took at the hands of the feet of that heroic battle buddy known as Robert. He was in the process of inventing a better, stronger, more absurd way to overthrow the universe when Little Moo is visited by a stranger. In fact, there is nothing stranger in the universe than the creature known only as Captain Kabuki. Tipping the scales at a whopping 220 bazillion tons, he uses a kung fu grip larger than metropolitan Chicago to shred Little Moo and add it to his fantastic collection of bottled wonderlands. Using his keen sense of villain timing, Baron Aloha hastily departs the scene and lands upon a small asteroid. Unable to cope with the monstrosity that is Kabuki, he calls Universal City Hall and begs for help as his beloved hideaway is made into so much Swiss cheese. After listening to the Baron's plight, the interstellar dispenser of justice decides to send the only being capable of dealing with a menace such as Captain Kabuki, the freedom-loving, robo-heroic Robert. Tuned up and ready to go the distance, Robert leaps to the scene.
And that's the story of Captain Kabuki, our main villain of this game anyway, who you can see down at the bottom of the screen. It's a man, which always used to confuse me because they have the tight pursed lips, bright red lips, but I guess that's just kind of a storytelling element, that it's a fantastical character, sort of. I really like this game. I think that the art is very, 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 very pretty. If I were to point at probably the prettiest PlayStation 1 game, I would probably point at this one. This just, I don't know, it feels really relaxed to me. The first time I ever went underwater in this game also, I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm easily impressed, apparently. But we can, jump pretty high. We can jump up to 3 times, and our collectibles in this game that we have to collect to beat the game are called Moo-Moos. There are 4 of them in every level. Each one holds a letter for a sign that spells out exit. Once we have all of the Moo-Moos for the all 4 of the Moo-Moos, we can then proceed to the exit. Look, you can see there's a sign, or a little statue of Baron Aloha there, even though we're being attacked. I don't know. This game, I really like the art style. I think it's really pretty. It kind of blows my mind a little bit. Not that, again, I'm just easily impressed probably, but I really like the art style of this game. It's like modern. I mentioned this during my last Let's Play, but in case, you happen to be watching this one first, this game is kind of what I point to for, like, PSX games, like, try to emulate a certain style, and this is like the style that they should be emulating. Not necessarily because this game is very fun, because it's not like out of this world fun, but I will say, in terms of graphics for the PlayStation 1, I think that this is out of this world on graphics, assuredly. So a couple more things. Up in the top left, you can see, very far top left, you can see we have a timer that's ticking down. That's how long we have to beat every level. In the next level, that timer will reset. We get an ending score depending on our performance throughout the level, how much HP and time we had left, as well as an extra bonus. And that score, once we hit certain milestones, we get extra lives. Every world has 3 stages. The first 2 stages are normal stages, and then the very last stage is a boss in every one of these worlds. So, yeah, I really like the soundtrack of this game as well. It kind of conveys, every level sort of conveys the theme of that level, that level, I guess, but also the worlds at large, because there's an overarching theme to the worlds usually. This one, of course, is Little Moo, is the name of the world that this is, supposed to be. And in the first game anyway, it had a lot of Japanese metropolitan type of areas, like a big city, like a Yakuza kind of feel, if you ever played those games, like how they're all kind of supposed to not be about consumerism as though they're necessarily the whole games are critiques on consumerism, but like they're all like these bright neons and like eye-grabbing graphics on the streets, and kind of playing on people's like interest in simple things, like like a bar will have like a bright neon sign that says bar. Now I'm getting a little bit away from the point that I was trying to make, which is that that is what Little Moo was in the first game. Now it kind of looks like this is a bit of a vacation spot for Baron Aloha, which you saw in the introductory cutscene as well. You saw him hanging out poolside trying to come up with schemes to beat Robbit and take over the world and stuff. Or I guess not the world, probably the galaxy. I really like those sort of I guess, of course, they're computer-rendered cutscenes, but, like, pre-rendered cutscenes, I think they look really, really, really pretty. I would love to watch a whole show kind of in that theme, but unfortunately shows like that kind of suck. I'm thinking, like, I was also sort of enamored with 3D graphics, kind of Xavier Renegade Angel sort of feel, and I do like that show, but I was like looking for shows that are also animated in the same style, and the only thing that I was able to find was this Godzilla show, and it's alright, or Godzilla show. And it's alright, but it's really not that impressive. So you'll also notice in the bottom left we collect icons. I'm not sure what exactly gives us those icons. I think like you can get them for going through levels and being like completely unharmed. But I don't necessarily know that, you can get them sort of otherwise. Of course, we're fighting a boss. It's a shark boss on a sandy beach. I love the boss designs in both of these games. I think they're really, really, really kind of unique. Probably, I don't know that I would say pretty, even though I would describe the levels as pretty. I guess they're also pretty as well. None of the bosses are very hard. I usually try and save up 3 of the little special items, which you probably noticed on the left, which I just used on the shark boss not long ago, 2 of them. And we just hit a score milestone and got a 1-up because of it. And we'll probably see the ending stage. Yep, right here. I really like the look of Robbit. I like his little animation at the end of all these things, at the end of all the levels where he jumps out here. And then after this we have a cutscene, I believe. Oh yes, after this little animation where we take the worlds away from Captain Kabuki, we have a cutscene then.
Oh my! What a revolting development this has turned out to be.
Hey, Baron. Robert's here. We're saved.
Just because he's the hero don't mean you gotta root for him.
Jeez. What a grouch.
So unlike the first game, this actually has some voice-acted cutscenes, so I don't mind being quiet for them. The problem with the first game, why I was willing to yap through all the cutscenes, was there was only like 2 voice-acted ones. I guess technically 3. See, this game we're in like a Japanese sort of thing, and it's so, I think if you are too impressed with another culture, you kind of come off as a bit of a loser to that culture, but I think whenever a game is able to not emulate it, because that's not exactly what's happening here. Look at that little kite. That's very pretty, isn't it? They're not necessarily like emulating it. They're just kind of trying their best to, well, set an environment like any game maker does. And I think they are knockout on this one. Not, of course, that I think Japan looks or is very similar to this, but it's like the same way that they take fantastical elements of the culture and are able to comport them to like a dumb little video game where you play as a rabbit and you kind of hop around and stuff. It's sort of the same way that I felt about something like, Sekiro or whatever, was like they were able to make that game sort of also fantastical, but it was not grounded in realism, but you could tell it's grounded in realism as far as, you can't turn into Superman and start flying around, I guess. I'm also a little worried that I can't see the ground. There we are. So this is the last Moo we need. Anyway, I just really like the design of a lot of these levels. Again, I have not beaten this game, so I don't know what some of the final levels and final bosses actually look like, but I'm sure that they're awesome. Now, I did want to read so that I didn't miss out on anything, so I do happen to know the very simple story of this game, and we've got some pretty interesting ending sequence that we're going to be going through. Unfortunately, the first game ended kind of lame because the little Moo that's Baron Aloha's helper says like, oh, but you're not finished yet, and I don't think it was implying a second game. Well, maybe it was implying a second game. If it did it very badly. Also, with this being like a native Japanese game, is that I assume it wasn't translated very well. So that's probably part of the issue. Yeah, and there are a couple indoor levels. I'm not a big fan of the indoor levels. They kind of make me... out of everything, this is a PlayStation 1 game, so you don't get to complain too much, but the indoor levels make me sick for the way that the movement is. Also, whenever you're indoors, you can't you can't take advantage of one of the biggest, mechanics in this game, which is jumping really, really high. In the actual platforming platforming side of things. I'm trying not to get caught up in this vortex, but unfortunately, looks like I did, and I got free. So this is a pickup that I really want to show off. This is a time stop, and it stops time, so the vortex will still suck us up, but a few other things also happen. One, you can see on the mini map there, we've got some orange dots. Those tell us where the Mews are. So if you're ever lost in a level and you I just cannot find these Mews, see if you can't instead find one of those time stop things. Of course, with a name like time stop, it also time stops the enemies as well. We've got 2 more Mews that we have to get, and I was a little bit worried about passing this one up. There's usually a streamline kind of, or like a pathing that's intended to collect all the Mews. I don't know what it is, but as long as you play the games kind of naturally, you'll probably find all the Mews, and you have plenty of time if you get lost. It's just in a very linear level, like an indoor level. You don't, you don't run into, if you miss one, you're kind of fucked, because imagine I missed that first Mew, I would have to go all the way back to the first level, or not for, yeah, I'd have to go all the way back to the first level. I'd have to go all the way through that water segment again, and that would be really annoying. That kind of stuff, though, hasn't really happened to me since I was a kid. So now we've got the boss of this area. This boss isn't really hard. It's just probably the first one that you'll face that's the least bit difficult. It's kind of like a robot samurai type deal. He's got 2 little guys around him as well who shoot fire at you. You can bother to try and shoot fire back at them, I suppose. That laser also deals quite a bit of damage as well. I don't want to just talk about Yakuza the whole time I'm in here, but this area reminds me of the first boss in Yakuza Zero's area as well. Man, I really can't get hit by that laser thing again, if I can help it. Oh, but the fire. Okay. I think I might be kind of screwed. I think I'll probably have to attempt this boss again. Nice dodge by me, and there's fire, and there comes the laser. Wow, what a move by me. Is it all for naught though, or am I gonna beat him? Yay, I actually beat him. A little bit happy with myself there. Yeah, I'm happy I beat a children's game for the PS1 from 20 years ago, but it's still fun. I guess that's kind of what I enjoy about this game. So we also hit another milestone for score, and because of that, we got another life up. And then also, once we collect all these planets away from Captain Kabuki, we'll have another cutscene here in just a second.
Naughty, naughty, naughty little space bunny. Oh, I could give your tail such a nasty tweak.
Robert seems to be really getting to him, Baron.
Yeah, but just wait and see how he does with this challenge. He's not such a hot shot of a hero.
You want Robert to win, don't you?
So we're back with World 3. This is kind of where my knowledge of the game is sort of, I don't know, falls apart a little bit because I, as a kid, generally never played this far. There were 2 stages at which I had a PlayStation, the original one. For the first stage, I had a memory card, and then for the second stage that I owned a PlayStation 1, I did not have a memory card. And, you know, you can sit down and beat this in one sitting, but I just was never that great at it as a kid, so I never did. I kept getting really far in the game, though, so, yeah, I hear the Moo Moo up here. I'm just trying to get positioned well enough to get on top of this tower, I think. 1, 2, 3. Ah, we're just shy. Okay. Well, I'm probably going to have to get on top of this outer thing here that looks like a little rock pathway. But once we're at the top, we've got a bunch of options for which Moo Moo to go after next. The power pill kind of sucks. The power pill deals more damage, and that's also, so you deal damage when you land on enemies' heads, so there's that kind of damage, and then there's the shooting your little arrows kind of damage. It increases the damage dealt, and I honestly don't think it does anything else, because you can still take damage, I'm pretty sure, while taking a power pill. I may not be remembering quite right, but so let's hop on top of this Baron Aloha little mine cart. I'm looking for, of course, the next Moo Moo. I don't think it's over there. I guess we'll see if I get around this whole ass level and I'm still missing 1 or 2. Yeah, again, I never made it this far in the games, usually. I have made it pretty far. I remember some of the later stages, like, not necessarily having trouble with, but just being like, damn, these are really long stages, at least as a kid, which, you know, I'll probably feel that sentiment equally, because that's how I felt about the first game, too, is that the first levels were pretty simple, short, sweet, but then, like, the later levels, they didn't drag on more than they had any right to, I guess, but, you know, as with most games, the later levels got more intricate and longer. So here's our third Moo Moo, which makes me a little bit worried because I don't have any idea where our fourth Moo Moo is. Here's the power up though, and oh, it's way above us. I'm not sure at all how we're supposed to get up there. Maybe by that rock thing that I was on before. I also really like the enemy designs in this game. Of course, the cute little, they look like green balls that are birds. And then there's also the it looks like a monarch butterfly that we just went past, and it has like charms on it of some kind. I'm sort of surprised. This game is sort of hard to control. I mentioned this with the first game anyway, but this game doesn't have like an analog support. So, of course, I'm playing this on an emulator, but in this game, you control your character with the D-pad. So if you imagine you have like an Xbox controller, the D-pad on it is how you control your character in this game. So you can only really go like the 4 cardinal directions. But in addition to that, if you want to only move the camera, which you may be noticing like the camera moves automatically, but if you want to only move the camera, you hold R1 and then it switches those controls to only move the camera instead of just moving your body. It's not really confusing or anything, but I'll tell you, it is sort of a pain in the ass. On the bright side, we do have a full lineup of special abilities for the upcoming boss fight, if I'm remembering right. I'm pretty sure that we were able to grab power-ups. Nice. Oh, this area looks really, really pretty. Let's see. This should launch us forward. Oh, man. That seems like something that would have definitely got me killed as a kid. I was never really practicing patience as a kid. Now, this should launch us up, I would guess. Oh, man. Sorry, again, we're getting sort of to the point that I'm not really all that familiar with in this game, and also the camera controls as usual aren't really working with me all that well. Alright, so we're looking for Moo Moos. Oh, I guess I can also stand on the exit gate and it'll tell us where Moo Moos are. That's really, really nice. That is not something I was aware of until right this very second. So that's very cool. I guess that doesn't do you much good in a huge level. Well, I mean, a huge level does. I guess a more linear level is what I meant to say. Like, you know, sure, we may have missed a Moo all the way at the beginning of the level, but now I have to backtrack all the way to that beginning of the level. So, interestingly, the time stop upgrade does not actually stop your timer. The only things that adjust the timer, or like pause it in your favor kind of, are if you ever take elevators in this game, it will pause the time for the time that you're on an elevator, and then also the time increase, 30-second increase. I guess these are fine for a boss fight. Let's just hope that it's not a boss fight that's in the air. If it is, we're kind of shit out of luck. Only one of these will hit it because the swirling fireworks will all stay on the ground. I also I don't feel like most of this game has Japanese environments, but I mean, so far I'm kind of getting proven wrong, except for Little Moo. That place anyway was just kind of like vacation beach aesthetic. I'm kind of coming around to it a little bit. That aesthetic is just kind of chill, like a 90s, maybe even 80s, like Miami sort of feel to it. The Miami Vice games, like kind of championed, and then championed it for that genre of games anyway, which are like 3D shooters. Probably, I don't know, what did we call them? GTA? Action adventures, maybe? I don't know how much of an adventure you might be able to call it, I guess, but, oh shit, I got turned around there. That sucks. Alright, at least this way we'll be facing the appropriate direction, and we do have the enemy respawn here, but that's alright. Ooh, I really like that Roman candle, as it's called, upgrade, way better than the other upgrades. And see, this is what I was talking about, an extra bonus. Like, we just got 150,000 points, and I have no idea at all why. Oh, nice. We've already made it to the boss of World 3. I, again, don't remember what this boss might be. It's been just a little bit for me. Oh, a giant plant. That's perfect. Hey, I said I wanted him to be on the ground, so, man, this looks like one that's gonna maybe get quick work made out of it. Ooh, we're also taking quite a bit of damage as well. Maybe I should back up just a little bit. Oh, it's refilling its health. Okay, I believe it only does that the one time, so we're gonna have to actually probably back up and maybe get a better angle on the situation. Whoa, stop shooting me. He's also got his own little arrows that he was shooting there as well. I also can't really tell what that says. I think it says 3 on 3 on the base of its I guess the flower pot. I'm trying to remember the name of that movie where that guy raises what is it, Audrey 2 or whatever, and it keeps going, feed me Seymour. But I can't. That was a cool enough boss, I guess. I am kind of glad that despite the controls, I'm able to dodge these attacks pretty alright. That's something that I really am not anticipating whenever I start getting into the yellow and red. I'm like, oh fuck, that's probably it. We're probably gonna have to replay this boss. And that's the end of World 3, and another cutscene to follow.
Now you've done it, you rapscallion rabbit. I'll make you into a dust bunny. Dust bunny.
Alright, now on to stage 1 of World 4. I'm looking and I'm like dreading the idea that these are all going to be more Japanese maps whenever I said that they're not going to be. I guess this one, it seems like we're getting a pass on anyway. It looks like an industry type of map, which is really cool. There's some kind of like a shrieking bird behind me. Ooh, we've got some moo-moos around as well. I'm kind of like trying my best to take a mental note of where all of those are. Unfortunately, it's kind of like trying to draw on film for my brain anyway, and that it doesn't work all that well. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, it's like, oh, you know, nothing to say. Let's default to how pretty the map is. The music also, whoa, this is slippery. Okay, yeah. It is a slippery. This is, whoa, I bumped my head there. That slippery is also from the, first game as well. Some of those maps were ice maps, and they actually had you slip and slide around like that as well. So there's our second Mew Mew, and I do know for a fact that there was one to the west. Well, I guess this is the east if we're looking at the, if we're actually looking at the compass. Now, I have no idea how in the world we're supposed to get over there. My hope is that maybe there's a bridge of some kind nearby. How in the hell am I supposed to get over to that? I surely don't jump. No. Okay, maybe it's somewhere high up in the sky. Maybe the rest of the level will kind of point me in the direction that I need to be going. This is already quickly becoming one of my least favorite levels. I guess maybe it's just not bright, but I felt the same way about like Rust Bucket Bay in the Banjo-Kazooie games. Unfortunately, those ones just kind of had bad gameplay design, I guess. Well, I was also hoping that maybe that smokestack there would jump me up. Man, maybe not doing a test playthrough of this whole game was a bad idea. I guess we could at least go over to this side and get this Moo Moo, and maybe there'll be something that just takes me like way high up in the sky and will be my answer. So this is oil. I have to be kind of careful about where I'm stepping, I guess. Maybe I should... So this is the bonus stage. It's not going to have a Moo Moo over here. But if I go back over this way, also just a rotating wrench in the sky, that's funny. Alright, so there's that Mew Mew, and I also see it's got like a big fan underneath of it, so I'm going to be able to get up here. Whoa, watch out, Mew Mew. Now land on him, and let's see if I'm able to make my way to another side of the map via some high up plane that I'm just not able to see. Okay, this looks good. I can only imagine what that Japanese sign says. It says industrial district. I don't know, the whole district is industrial. Also, I'm going to go ahead and grab this upgrade. So I do see that over there. I just still don't quite see maybe how I'm supposed to make my way over here. Let's see. Let's start with jumping on this crane. And then over to here. Alright, so I'm starting to see the platforming, I believe. And then there's that last Mew Mew. It looks like it's on like a oil refinery of some kind. Oh, and I also see a boost pad as well. So that'll be kind of fun to take. Alright, let's see if this takes me to the exit gate. Ooh, it's taking me kind of close, honestly. Alright, and over to the right. Also, our HP is getting kind of low. We got plenty of lives, though, and we're about to wrap up this level, so hopefully I don't die now that I went through this kind of longer level in relation to the, in comparison to the other levels in this game. I really like Robit's design. It's kind of that simple and clean design that, you know, people really seem to appreciate. Like, you just kind of have a simplistic character and maybe give it like a couple of defining characteristics, and then you ship it out and it looks really nice. People kind of, I don't know, a lot of people don't seem to appreciate like a bunch of intricacies, and I don't really blame them. I'm not really faulting them. I'm just kind of talking about preferences a little bit here. This is also another indoor map. I'm hoping that this one at least is as streamlined as the last one, in that, you know, there's really only like one direction to go, and that's the way to beat the level, and that's the direction that all the Mew Mews are in. I do actually sort of remember this level a little bit. I still am not really sure how it's supposed to work, so this will take us down or up, and then I guess maybe I'm looking now to see, can we go this way? I'm gonna guess no. Well, hold up, actually, yeah, we can, but what is behind this? Oh, a couple just little shitty upgrades. Time extension for 30 seconds, another 30-second time extension. I also didn't notice just how much time we have. Man, 12 minutes to do this level. I think there was another show that this kind of era of games and stuff reminds me of called Shin-Chan, and I might be misremembering that, but it's about like, all I remember is it's about like a really crass like boy, like the boy just constantly shows his ass, literally, not like in personality. He's just constantly like showing his ass to the camera, and then like his parents and teacher are all like kind of crass. They're not necessarily always showing their asses like he is, but like they're just very blunt. He's like the father is not like depressed, but he's just like, come on, eat the food. He's like, I paid like a certain amount of money for that. Eat that damn food. And he's like, nah. The boy probably just showed his ass or whatever, but it's called Shin Chan, I'm pretty sure. And I remember really liking that show, even though I never really understood what it was about. They usually talked about things that were a little beyond me, and the times that they didn't, I was boring as fuck. It's kind of the same way that I feel about like certain Adult Swim shows like Black Dynamite. I didn't really care for those while they were on and popular, but now, like looking back at them, I really like them. Another good show on Adult Swim that I really like, just because it's kind of like almost the nature of this game, since it's like a bit of like a older game for me anyway. Another show that I really liked is Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule. At the time, I really did not like that show at all. Whenever it first came out, I didn't really get it. But John C. Reilly is really, really funny. And him playing like a dunce in that show is really funny too. Sorry, I know that like I usually only try and talk about the games that are on the screen, but like this is going to be an extremely long level, I feel. So I just kind of want to talk about whatever. That's good. The Jumping Flash 1 and 2 have both kind of been a concession for me as far as like generally my rule of thumb has always been like only talk about the game, but unfortunately this game just kind of is long, and besides the like art of the characters, I don't really have much to talk about in this game, honestly. The bosses like are fun. I guess maybe I could at least try my best to keep it on topic for like PlayStation 1 stuff. I'd also mentioned in the last Jumping Flash Let's Play that this game kind of reminds me of Germs for the PS1. Now, Germs for the PS1 actually now has a translation, an English translation. At the time I was looking at it, and of course at the time it was released, though, it did not have one. And Germs is just kind of like this dreamy exploration game, kind of in a similar vein as LSD Dream Emulator, except this one maybe kind of, at least from what I've been able to understand from the little I've looked into it. Whoa, look at this thing. Holy shit, that's a cool robot. That looks like we're in Baron Aloha's lab or something. That's really cool. And I do actually want to swap out this upgrade for this rocket upgrade. That'll help us out with the upcoming boss fight, I'm sure. Ooh, nice little power pill for us to take as we end the level. Alrighty, I was hoping it might continue flashing on the screen, but no such luck. Yeah, but that Germs game, I think it's more leaning towards maybe like a Yumi Nikki thing, like where you run around and you like collect and interact with things, and then like you can interact with other things. Kind of, I know that's not very descriptive for a game because I'm literally doing that. I'm picking up moo-moos and I'm interacting, quote unquote, with this boss where I'm shooting it with a laser, but oh shit, I forgot that I can aim. Oh, but he's a little bit out of my range, unfortunately. Hey, at least we're blowing up his little mine things as well. Maybe it might help if I just like kind of get above him and bounce a little bit. And I mentioned this during the first Let's Play too, but any FPS sort of issues you see are like native to the console. Like the engine can really only handle so much, so if you happen to see any FPS drops, it's not really an issue with my editor or like my system or anything. It's all running just fine. Wow, I really like that spider web up at the top in this arena. Wow, we just got 300,000 bonus points there. Holy moly, we're surely gonna get a bonus life here whenever we hit 1 million. Nice. But yeah, that's that. FPS issues are native to the system, so not really a lot that I can do about that. And then another cutscene.
Robo Bunny, not funny. Time to grind out some bunny burgers, cause you don't know Jack Rabbit. Jack Rabbit, I made it funny. Jack Rabbit. I'd like to. What is taking so long?
I'm doing the best that I can. Have you ever tried to hotwire a spaceship?
There is no time to waste.
And that's that. I don't know. I think that the characters in this game are kind of, well, every one of them is kind of like a character design that I like. So simple and clean Robert that just kind of chills and does his own thing, but he's like a silent protagonist and he's like unbeatable. So that's kind of cool. And then I like Baron Aloha's like design as an evil scientist. I really like the design of like a super genius that's just kind of like inept at the things that they do, sort of like Dr. Eggman, for example. He's a really good example. That's the bonus level that way. I'm trying to look around and see what the maybe sort of order to go in this is. Oh, I really like this level too. It almost looks like a fantastical, like kind of like a carnival sort of theme. It looks like this is reusing some assets and themes of a level in the first game. And I'm going to go ahead and just go up this automated rail, jumping against it, kind of like running up a slide. So I was saying character designs in this game I like. The Mew Mews are even more simple and clean designs, but I don't necessarily like those all that much, their designs. Captain Kabuki is kind of a funny design, I think, but there's nothing like wrong with his design or anything. I just I don't feel too strongly about it one way or another. He does remind me of the king from I'm trying to remember what game it is, and I'm also trying to see which upgrade that is to see if I want it. It's the chestnut. I was hoping it was the time stop one so that we could figure out where this last Mew Mew is, but I guess I'll go ahead and just hop over on the exit thing and see if I can't find out where it's at. Where is it? All the way this way. I think the last time I played this game, I don't know, I'm just getting weird deja vu. I think I was listening to some kind of weird murder drama or some shit. Getting way away from the point that I was trying to talk about. Oh yes, character design in this game. It reminds me of the there's a character, Katamari Damacy, that's the name of the game, where you like have this ball and you like roll that ball into other balls, and you make your ball bigger until you, I think, eventually consume the world. I had like maybe like a demo version of it on Steam or something, and it looks fun. I just couldn't really talk myself into buying it, the re-roll version anyway. But the king reminds me of Captain Kabuki in this game. They're just like giant characters. I think the guy in Katamari Damacy was nice, but I did not make it to the end of that game, so I don't actually know if he was altruistic the whole time. And I think that's really all the characters, other than like the set pieces and designs of the levels, which I've only been singing praise of this whole entire time. This, like I said, kind of reminds me of like a carnival a little bit. The graphics remind me, now that we're here, I hope this whole Let's Play isn't, this reminds me. That's got to be annoying for the viewers. Sorry, I'll try and cut that out. This level, for one last time, reminds me of Glover, which is a game for the N64 as well. But all of these games that have a similar graphic style as the PS1, well, not that PS1 is the only one and the champion of that genre, but PS1 and N64 kind of go hand in hand a lot with one another. And now we're on to the World 5-2. Now, this is another carnival themed level. Now this should launch us way up. Ooh, I really like that. Now, I want to see if there's any nearby Mew Mews before I make a move. Oh, that's a pretty moon. Maybe let's start by kind of going around. I've got a guess that these are going to be in the corners, but I don't know that for certain. So first things first, let's see if I can land on a card. Nice. Jackpot. Alright, first one down, the E. Now, can I make it back to this platform? Alrighty. Now again, my guess is that they're in the corners. I don't know that I ever made it this far as a kid, though. It feels, this level anyway, like I don't recognize anything in it. Now, is there another Mew Mew over there? No, it doesn't look like it. So let's continue forward. There's a Mew Mew coming up. I'll land in the middle of this board. Then I'll have another one here. I'm just trying to, because the camera's really gonna give me some trouble here. Oh, that one's on a little trapeze thing. Oh man, it's over top of some spikes though. So what's the way to do this? Probably get on this middle platform here. And, I hear him above me. What if I do like a little... he was right above me that time. Okay, what if we jump... So I missed that. Man, this is going to be really annoying as far as getting down the timing. What if I like go forward? Aha, and move. There we go. That was fortunate that did not take that much longer, because I already felt in my head that was going to be annoying. It would have been very funny to have seen a jump cut there and then see me down to like 4 minutes left of this level, no doubt. Oh, this is a hand with a deck of, a deck of cards. Oh man, it's like a wave though. Oh man, that's making me a little bit nauseous. Okay, let's go over here. Wow, I really like this level. This guy's like surrounded by like a wheel of knives. Let's land on that. As a kid, there's a lot of things that I was scared of as a little kid that like I grew up and I was just like, oh yeah, well, it's not that big a deal. But one thing I was scared of, this is just a dumb little story I'll tell about myself, and then we'll try our best to keep it back on topic for the rest of the Let's Play. But as a kid, I went to a circus act, and I remember they had elephants and they had a clown there, and we had seats right next to the stage, and the clown had that like seltzer water kind of thing where you could like spray it. It had the handle and everything, and he was like, that's just not important for right this second, but just know that he had it, and that's the tool that he'll eventually use. But he kind of walked around and was like interacting with people on the stage, and then like going back to the middle like sandy area and like doing little clown things like clowns do. And oh, I like this boss. Oh, speaking of clowns, oh, I'm horrified. Hell. But anyway, so we're on the ringside there, and I remember he just like with no real prompt at all, like came over and just completely doused my mom with all of that carbonated water, and it didn't like I don't know how I felt. It was a long time ago, but I remember that being like the catalyst for me being scared of clowns as like a little kid. Was not the biggest fan of them for a very long time. Of course, now, I mean, if that had happened now, I'm sure that like you could sue for probably a ton of money for not being part of the act and then being forced to be part of the act. Not that my mom would have necessarily done that. She's not that kind of person, but you know, there's a reason that we would probably not see that happen in today's world. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you're like, it sort of reminds me, you shouldn't be forced to participate in anything that you don't really want to, especially whenever you're going to like enjoy it or whatever. But anyway, that's my stupid story about clowns, and it really wasn't even that good a story. It just got us through the boss fight. Man, this Let's Play is probably the worst one I've ever done. I like the card pattern on the floor here as well. It's got all the major suits of playing cards on it. Heart, club, spade, and diamond. So that's kind of neat. I wonder if we'll get another life for 2 million points. Maybe we'll find out, because I know we've got at least one more world to do right after this cutscene.
Here, bunny, 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 come to Papa. Time to wrap you up like a big bunny burrito. Hippity hoppity hippity hop kaboom!
I think the spaceship is all ready to go, Baron.
Listen, you, it better be, or I'll use you as my next footstool.
Atomic power to engines, turbines to thrusters.
Now we'll show that Robert who's who and what's what with the heroics.
Yippee-ki-yay, Kabuki.
Here we go!
Alright, I think we have 2 more worlds if I had to guess. I'm just kind of judging by the story synopsis that I read of this game. And surprisingly, it's a paragraph and a half long, so, whoa. Alright, so we're in kind of space or like a science-y deal. And this seems like the kind of level where I'm almost surely going to fall out of the map at some point. Yeah, I know I've never ever seen this map as a little kid. Okay, let's go. over to this Mew Mew first, because at least we know where this one's at. If I had to guess, this is probably the letter E. Nope, actually it's the letter T. Alright, what is the kind of play? I need to get to high ground, and I need to absolutely not get pushed off of the map or I'll lose my mind. So this plate isn't going to take us anywhere, right? It's not going to fly. Alright, well that sucks. So I think my first objective is to get as high as I can, so it looks like there's a little platform over here. A couple more PlayStation 1 games that I've been considering playing as well. I want to play... Oh, I thought I just fell right past it. I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. The only thing is, that game is extremely long, and I would surely cut out all of the grinding that I do, but I really don't want to do the grinding at all. I think it seems really lame that, like, I would have to grind for, like, you know, I would basically be like grinding for 4 hours, and then I would like be like, okay, hey guys, welcome back to Forbidden Memories. But I also don't want to cheat, because that's kind of against the spirit of the thing too. So just something I've been kind of thinking about as far as like wanting to play other PlayStation 1 games as well. God damn, speaking of PlayStation 1 games, oh, okay, there's like a little... So these are all like science-y themed, right? This looks to be like maybe a fluorescent tube of some kind, like a fluorescent light tube, or like maybe even a glow stick. And then we've got like candles burning nearby, plates. I'm not sure how that's too science related, but this is like an emergency shower. It sort of feels like. Whoa, trying not to get my head bumped too much. What am I bouncing up against? Is it literally the... Oh, no, it's just a faucet. I was about to say, is it literally the boundaries of the fucking level? Somehow I've actually hit those. Alright, so now we're aiming probably for this side for that Mew Mew. I kind of forgot for a second if this was the first or the second level that I participated in this world. Okay, so there's another Mew Mew. Maybe we'll see about the exit. I'm trying not to lose my advantage as far as being high up enough. Now, does this bounce us back up? Oh, thank goodness it does. Now, where to go? There's the exit. I would say I'm going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to cop out and use the exit to tell us where we need to go. Alright, so all the way that direction. I can make that happen, I suppose. And then we got this little platform here. I guess I really don't know. I really like the design of this level as far as like the theme of it, but I've got a bad feeling about like making it so far and then getting fucked by something I can't see that's above me and like just losing my mind. Alright, so there's the last Mew Mew. Yeah. Oh, and we've got a knife here. Watch out. So it's like somehow like plate themed, and then also like, or like maybe silverware themed, and then mix in like science shit for some reason. I'm not understanding the design document of this one, but you crazy Japanese go wild. Yeah, I may not have mentioned that. This is a game that was originally from Japan and then was localized to the Americas. There are 3 games in total. The first 2 were localized to America. The third one, however, was not. It is only available in Japanese, and then I guess technically in Japan. I don't know how PlayStation Network works with just letting you buy like games that aren't in your area or whatever, but it's available in the PSN network, at least in Japan. So there is that. Some guy is like trying to get I think like PlayStation's attention so that he might make a fan-made 4th installment, but you know how that kind of stuff is with being online and everything. I would like to see a 4th one, but I doubt that there's anybody who's really that interested in this game besides like me and whoever happens to see this Let's Play, most likely. So yeah, World 6-2. Whoa, here's another boss. This is interesting. Now, if this plays out the same way that the first game does, this would be 2 bosses back to back. So we would have a boss here and then a boss coming up. And I was hoping to avoid those lasers there at the end. Oh, hey, shit. You know what? Is this that robot we saw on an earlier mission? I don't remember if it had a 6 on its head or not. Or does that... No, 7, sorry. Oh man, and then that launched us way up in the air. I'm trying to get in a position to deal alright damage to him without eating shit to those flame barriers, or flame spitters, I guess. And maybe not get rolled into as well. I'm not sure like how maybe a kid is supposed to handle this, although back in the day I talk about this sometimes, like you really didn't have much else to play, so you could kind of sink like 12 hours into you know, this game, like in a weekend. I mean, you could do other stuff too if you wanted to, of course, but as far as like you're like, hey, I want to play a video game for a little bit, you know, you could sink as much time as there existed in a weekend into this into one game, because there wasn't shit else, you know, around. So now we're on to stage 3, maybe a cutscene. Nope, it looks like we're right into World 6-3. What is the... Oh, okay, you know what? I do remember this boss from whenever I was a kid. It doesn't seem to be too difficult, but it does seem to have a bunch of HP. So this is going to be a lengthier boss fight, probably. We just gotta stay measured with dodging. Also, I noticed, despite this being a longer boss fight, we have, like, less time than a normal level here, so we've got about 4.5 minutes. So far, this doesn't seem to be too hard, but, you know, we could always see a phase 2. I think he's, yeah, gonna shoot those lasers. I wasn't sure which attack that was, for sure. I think this might be Captain Kabuki, maybe. I see, it's got like a weird sort of cylindrical head like Captain Kabuki. Oh man, oh yeah, I see. There's, Baron Aloha outside of the gate there. That's weird. Oh wow. I also see we have some kind of like an arena sign in the background that's flashing some kind of letters as well. Yeah, this is Captain Kabuki, because I see it's like in his little wrestling ring thing, it has it on the middle name there. I don't think it's calling it Captain Kabuki though, or at least the way I would spell it. Oh man, we're just barely dodging. Hopefully this isn't just the exact same boss as the first game, because the first game, so it did a little thing like this, Professor Aloha, and then, or Baron Aloha, I guess. Oh, sorry, I'm trying my best not to die here. I might eat shit. Oh, this isn't looking good. Yeah, it's over. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, we're back, and we're more or less in the same kind of position that we was before. So I was saying in the first game anyway, there, Baron Aloha had a, boss design that was pretty similar to this one, maybe less difficult, where he like rolled around kind of like this Captain Kabuki character is, and then for the very last part of it, he I'm trying really hard not to die. For the very last part of it, he oh dear, became a spinning top with his head. Oh, hot, hot, hot. Don't, I didn't have a chance to read the rest of it. Okay. Oh, it's over. Okay, and we got phase 3 there too. Alright, we'll be back in a second. Alright, so we're back here and we're still really close or whatever. We've got him almost on the ropes to phase 3, I would assume. Oh, okay. And then he also becomes a top. Damn. Shame that it's more or less just the same boss from the first game. I'm trying my best to just avoid this. Yeah, because it also had like an arena that looks similar to this. I might look into it and see if this boss, like if there was the boss fight in the third game was more or less just the same as the first and second. But yeah, that's been this boss completely beaten. I don't know necessarily that there come a cutscene or whatever after this. If you suddenly hear my voice cut off, it's so that you can hear the cutscene. I guess I'll try my best to stay quiet during black scenes. Nope, not just yet. Hey, there's a little reward. Maybe we did beat the game. We'll see if we have a cutscene now.
Oh no! Now I'll lose my standing in the Pan-Galactic Criminals Club.
Way to go, Robert. You sure kicked that Space Green Pop.
With feet like yours, you'll definitely go places.
Ja, gut butt kicking here, Horsenpfeffer. Why don't you stick around and have a cup of soda with us? Perhaps you'd like my Robert Smasher.
Let's hear it for our hero, Robert. Robin!
Will you all please be quiet? I cannot hear myself thinking.
And so we leave the story with the knowledge that no moves is bad moves. The intergalactic threat to good taste and steady real estate values, Captain Kabuki, has been duly humbled by Robert. He'll think twice before reaching out and touching a planet again. As far as his membership in the Pan-Galactic Criminals Club, well, let's just say that Kabuki's standing has been reduced to that of a disgruntled Regilian slugbat. And as for our hero, Robert is off to new adventures in a cosmos crazy enough to need a high-octane, multi-dimensional, heroic Robo-Bunny.
Ha! You overrated Humpty Dumpty! You're working for me now, see? No more solo bad guy stuff for you! We're teaming up to stomp that Robert once and for certain, and I don't want to hear no complaining out of your faces neither. Oh, pooh!
Very charming. I would say that that's surely the end of it. Yep. And that's,
Two faces of Baron Aloha.
give me a sec. Let me look into what this is. Alright, I looked into it real quick. The only difference is there's actually new CGI animated cutscenes between the levels where Baron Aloha had saved Captain Kabuki and Ree tries to take over the levels. It's the same thing as Extra 1 from the original Jumping Flash, where the placement of the Moo-Moos in all the levels is changed. But otherwise, it's the exact same. So I'm not going to do that. I guess maybe in the future, if I feel like I've cheated this, I might do a redux of this Jumping Flash 2, but I think that's fair. I don't feel like replaying the whole game over again for basically no reason. So that is Jumping Flash 2 completed, ? And that is this Let's Play done and over with. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope I didn't go off into too many tangents, and I hope you're not too upset that I'm not gonna superficially replay through this entire game again for basically no reason. Anyway, I'll see you guys all next week. Later.